put a tarp down because this podcast is going to get absolutely filthy in some places because we are getting deep into some dirty smut, and we're going to be behind the scenes with the author of the book that Chris Briney from The Summer I Turned Pretty has narrated. And if you've not heard any of the audio for that, get ready to slide off your seat because it's super, super sexy. Hi, my name's Sharon. Welcome along to a little bit extra, and this is your escape from the shit show that is planet Earth, where you can indulge in your guilty pleasures like pop culture, dirty books, music, and so much more. So don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, okay? Put your comments. I love chatting to you. I'd love to hear from you. And oh my gosh, we have got some amazing things to talk about today. Like, I have been losing it about Chris Briney being an erotic novel narrator. I managed to to track down the author of the book he's narrating. Her name is Holly June Smith, and she is going to be joining us on the podcast today. And let me put it this way. If you have strong sexual feelings for Chris Briney, you need to hear this chat, because this is the closest you're going to get to that dream of having sex with him to coming true, okay? And that was a pun that I definitely intended. We're also going to be talking Taylor Swift today, Kanye West going off at Kris Jenner, and so much more, including a very special guest, New Zealand musician Paige will be joining us to tell us about what it was like on stage with the Jonas Brothers, Billie Eilish loving her music, and her new single, Tragedy. So let's get into it. Our person of the week, this week in pop culture, it has to be Taylor Swift. She is so fiercely intelligent, and she knows that our appetite for her content is insatiable. We just want more. We want more and more and more and more. And over the weekend, she announced that we are going to be getting a doco movie of the life of a showgirl, which will be coming out the same weekend as the album. And I am so excited about this. I want to get dressed up in my Eras Tour outfit, and I want to go to the cinema. I want to sing along to songs that I've never even heard before, and I just cannot wait. Now, what this is going to be, according to Taylor, is there are some behind the scenes that we've never seen, the exclusive world premiere of the first single, which is The Fate of Ophelia. We're going to get cut-by-cut explanations. We're going to get lyric videos that we have never seen before. And the biggest question, will this be coming to New Zealand and Australia? Because at the moment on Taylor's website, we're only seeing American dates. Well, good news. The Taylor Swift Life of a Showgirl docu-movie is coming to New Zealand, it's coming to Australia, and it is going to be fun, and I cannot wait. I honestly love the camaraderie when you're around other Swifties. Like, when I went to the Eras Tour, it was like the happiest environment ever. There was like hardly any drunk people. Everybody was just on this like positive vibe and including everybody. It was awesome. And so if you want to see this in New Zealand and Australia, it is definitely coming here. I have had word from some people in the industry that the cinemas in New Zealand only heard about this over the weekend. So they've just been rushing through all of the information. But from what I understand, tickets will be going on sale on Tuesday, and it will be going across the mutu, across the country. It will also be in Australia. But everybody was kind of kept in the dark about this, and that's why there's no information instantly. So it's all trickling down now. They're getting all their ducks in a row, but we will be able to see it. And I honestly can't wait to see you there. It's going to be the best. So make sure you get your tickets. Another big thing about Taylor, though, is obviously we got a Taylor's version of her song from Reputation, Dress, in the Summer I Turned Pretty finale last week. There was also some other songs that sounded like they were re-recorded as well, because there was a track of Taylor's from Reputation that used to have a synth in it, but an instrumental played when she was talking about the docu-movie, which had guitars in it instead of a synth. She also was wearing a necklace with a T on it, like the T that was on the Reputation cover. And so people are thinking that Taylor Swift will be releasing the songs that she made from Reputation the Taylor's version, but it'll be like the upbeat poppy ones. We might not get the entire album, but people are saying that we are going to get some of those, and that's why there was a Pinocchio in the background of her New Heights interview, because she was telling a lie, and we are going to be getting Taylor's version of Reputation, which I loved Reputation. I thought it was incredibly slept on because of the climate of how many people were off Taylor at the time. And to hear that album and hear her redo it in a different frame of mind, it's going to be epic. And I reckon we're going to get it. I just really, really think that it's going to happen. So fingers crossed, everybody. Fingers crossed. What a year for music. Another thing that's very awesome at the moment is that you could be going to Bali, all thanks to our amazing sponsors, Moody. They could be sending you on a luxury getaway for two to go and just relax with a friend or a loved one. You'll get to de-stress and relax at the Revivo Resort in Bali. This trip is worth $15,000. And when you look it up online, you are absolutely going to want to win this trip. You also get a year supply of Moody with it as well, which is chef's kiss. So how do you enter? Every single dollar that you spend on Moody's website, you will get an entry into going to Bali. Also, if you're in New Zealand, you can go and pick up the pre and probiotic sodas from your local supermarket, and that is 10 entries, but you need to get a validated receipt and send it to Moody. So go to moodyblends.com right now, and the entries close at midnight New Zealand time on October the 6th, and you can also get all the full terms and conditions on Moody's website as well. Good luck! I hope that you win. Let's get into our pop culture wrap. And this is the part where I did have the idea of like dressing the studio in tarps as a gag, but my boss said that was a little bit too far. But Chris Briney, who plays Conrad on The Summer I Turned Pretty, is going to be narrating an erotic fiction story. And my God, am I here for it, because this is the closest we're going to get to having sex with him. It's called Hidden Harbour, and it's written by Holly June Smith, who has got so many amazing erotica novels. And it's going to be on this app, which I'd never heard of before, which I felt stupid because I love smutty books. It's an app called Quinn, and basically, there's a whole library of audiobooks that you can listen to where and whenever you like, and they're all erotic. And if it's anything like the character that I have heard Chris voicing, they must be super, super sexy. And the fact that they got Chris Briney to be part of this is huge. His manager knows how to get him some money. It's absolutely so intelligent that he would do this after The Summer I Turned Pretty. But you know what? I know you're sick of hearing my sexy voice, and absolutely nobody is touching themselves to my podcast, but you may want to hear Chris Briney talking about his character in the book.
Character River comes back to his hometown every summer to teach surfing and work nights at a dive bar. He meets Drea when she walks into his bar with a box of her ex's stuff. River is instantly drawn to her, and they just click, talking all night.
But of course, that his character, the girl that he's like trying to hook up with, her ex is his brother. Of course it is, because he's playing into the whole Summer I Turned Pretty thing. So it's an easy scenario for him. But this is the moment you've been waiting for. I know it. You want to hear a little bit of the sexiness of him reading some sexy stuff. And I'm going to prepare you right now. When Chris Briney says the words thoroughly ruined, you are going to be like, here you go.
If he didn't take good care of your heart, I bet he didn't take good care of your body either. Did he? Didn't think so. You deserve to be loved. And thoroughly ruined.
Honestly, hose me down right now. Hose me down. That's not even all of it. That's not even all of it. Here's some more.
Don't forget to breathe. God, you're so beautiful. I'll give you whatever you want.
Sorry guys, getting off the ground. I slid off my chair. Oh my God. Wowzers. The thing is though, how did this happen? Also, so many questions about the conversation with Chris Briney, who is in the booth with him as he's reading it. And the person I had to ask all of these questions to is the author of Hidden Harbour, the book that Chris is narrating. Please welcome to the podcast the amazingly talented and very, very lucky Holly Jones-Smith. You have managed to get the narrator of the year for one of your books, Hidden Harbour. How did you get Chris Briney to narrate your book?
Well, first of all, I can't take credit for him being the narrator. The team at Quinn, they were the people that got Chris to narrate this. And second of all, it's not really a book. It's this whole other thing. For your listeners who are not familiar with Quinn or audio erotica in general, Hidden Harbour is a 3-part story that's exclusive to Quinn that is narrated by Chris. But the way that this type of audio works is that the listener plays the other character in the story. So when you're listening to Hidden Harbour, you're hearing Chris is saying all the dialogue, and you're there with him. So it's fantastic for listeners who just want to put their headphones on and sit back and just be with the man of the moment. But yeah, it's amazing. And I think everyone on that team is so thrilled with the reception and how it's been so far.
So without being like super filthy, this is probably the closest that we're all going to get to actually hooking up with Chris Briney, because it's like he's going to be talking to us. When he's saying that line, like, I'd leave you thoroughly ruined, like he'd be saying it to me.
You, and you, and you, and you, and you.
Oh my God,
yeah,
and
that's the beauty of it. Yeah, it's a really incredible format.
It's an amazing format. So, because I'd never heard of this before, so I think a lot of people are getting introduced to Quinn with this book, well, this story, Hidden Harbour, that you've written. And so, how does that process work? Like, have you got to meet Chris Briney and be like, so this is what I think for your character, or anything like that, or does he just get it and go for it?
Yeah, no. Sadly, I have not met the man himself. I'm based in the UK. The Quinn team, most of them are in the States, and it was all kind of done. Yeah, that's the power of technology. I get to write the story, and then who knows where it's going to go. So I wrote this story for Quinn last year in 2024, and then it's a case of them finding the perfect narrator. They have lots of Quinn originals on their app, so they've worked with people like Victoria Pedretti, they've worked with Jesse Williams. Andrew Scott did a fantastic one called The Queen's Guard, which was written by Eiffel Tyler from Tyler McCall. She's a fantastic journalist and writer. And yeah, so it's always been a really fantastic way for the app to reach new audiences. And yeah, I think everyone is just so thrilled that Chris said yes to this project.
Oh, I tell you what, I'm definitely thrilled. When I heard the audio for the first time, I was like, you sounded great, Connie, baby. I'm here for it. It was so, like, what was your reaction when you heard him reading your dialogue for the first time?
Oh my God, just when I wrote the story, we don't know who it's going to be for. And so when I found out that it was going to be Chris, I was just like, I couldn't do anything for for like 15 minutes. And I have kids, so I think I found out and I was just going, oh my God, for like 15 minutes. And then I had to take one of them to a dance class. And I was really like, I better not crash the car when this happens. But then hearing him narrate it, he's just done the best job. And what's really powerful about writing these stories is that they are, as the writer, you put lots of vocal direction in it. And he 100% nailed that. So yeah, it's fantastic.
Oh. Well, I cannot wait to listen to it. I am going to become a Quinn member, and it's all because of your writing. So well done to you, Holly.
Thank you ever so much.
Oh, wowzers. Now, as I said earlier, make sure you do like, follow, and subscribe, because I'm going to be doing a special edition podcast just with Holly, all about erotica, spicy books, and I've got so many questions about what it's like when you're an author of these sorts of things. Like, do you have to try all of the things you write about? How do you even research all of these things? Like, when I was reading Pucking Around and they're doing triple penetration, did the author like make that up, or did she try it? How do they research the stuff that we read about? We're going to find all of that out from Holly, and that is an episode coming soon, so make sure that you are keeping track and do not miss it. Moving on to the next story in our pop culture wrap this week. Kanye West. Now, the documentary that he has released is called In Whose Name. It premiered over the weekend and it was pretty shocking in moments. Like, I really felt for Kim Kardashian and her family because you can tell that it was difficult for them at times to live with Kanye, especially because he is a person that lives with bipolar. And I honestly wouldn't wish bipolar on anybody. It's just such a hard mental illness for somebody to live with. It's a mental illness that so many people don't understand, and it's a mental illness that can just change the people that you love so rapidly and erratically, and it can be terrifying sometimes. And I think this is probably one of the first times we really got to see what it was like for Kim Kardashian and all of her family, of what it was like trying to help Kanye, especially when he was having his manic episodes. Now, I do want to say that I do not stand with a lot of the stuff that Kanye West has said in the past. He has said some pretty horrific things. And I know that he says that is because of his mania and things like that. I'm not a doctor, so I can't tell you if it is. But I also know there's a lot of brilliant people that live with bipolar that don't say such anti-Semitic and racist things. So, yeah, I just want to say I'm not like sitting here saying Kanye is a great guy, but I do sympathize with the fact that he lives with bipolar because that is a brutal illness to have. But there was a clip that is getting a lot of attention within the documentary, and it's when Kanye just starts yelling after he has been put on a psychiatric hold. He's just come home from the hospital, and Kris Jenner and her partner Corey Gamble are trying to talk to him, and the female voice that you're going to hear if you're listening to this is Kris Jenner, and Kanye is yelling at her.
I'd rather be dead than to be on medication.
It doesn't matter.
Am I lying? It do matter! It does matter! It does matter!
Oh God, that must have been so scary and heartbreaking. But there was also another moment where there's a bunch of people trying to have an intervention with Kanye, and the main two people talking is Kanye West's cousin and also Kim Kardashian, and like they're trying to encourage him to take medication, but he's just not having it. And Kim is there, and you can hear her break down, and it's really hard to watch, to be honest.
You put yourself and your family, and they were being murdered. Okay, well, go home. Go home. No, I will protect you with my life. I'm not doing that. It ain't about my life. It's calling on my life.
But at some point, it's a reality that people say no. People say no to me on a daily basis, and I don't just start screaming and throwing a tantrum. That's just not normal.
That's my personality.
But your personality was not like this a few years ago.
What do you mean? I used to scream backstage. This tape used to be
But
like
it was
scream backstage.
very far and few in between. It was not on a daily, every single conversation.
It's just such a sad demise, like, to see somebody like that. But I think it is also an interesting insight of what it can be like for somebody's brain that has to live like that. And it's not an uncommon thing, and again, I'm not a doctor, it's not an uncommon thing for people with bipolar to not want to take medication. I've known people that have bipolar, and I know that they struggled with taking the medication and things like that because it can make you feel like completely numb. And if you're a really creative person, sometimes it can stump your creativity and things like that. But I just really hope that he starts taking his medication because, gosh, his kids, like, having to witness that, and also just for his own brain and mental health, like, gosh, it must be just so much. And I saw a comment on TikTok, and I've got to say I wholeheartedly agree. You can say what you want about the Kardashians. You can say that they've done all these like horrifically bad things. And yes, they have definitely done things in the world of body image that I do not agree with. But one thing that I will stand 10 toes down on is that the Kardashians, when you are part of their family, they will ride or die for you. They will always show up. I mean, we saw it with Khloe and Lamar. We saw it with Scott Disick. We've seen it with Kanye. They just really, really look after each other. And once you're in, like, you get full mama beard from Kris Jenner. And you've got to give them credit for that. Like, as much as you hate them, you have to give them credit for that. And the fact that people sit there and try and say, oh, the Kardashians are the reason all these guys go crazy, blah, 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 blah. Absolutely not. You cannot blame a family for a chemical imbalance inside somebody's brain, okay? That is something that is in their DNA, that is their thing, okay? So just, you got to stop that chat. But I think that Kim Kardashian has lived so much more abuse and emotion and seen so much more than we give her credit for. And the fact that she has never ever talked badly really about Kanye West is a huge credit to her. And God, she must have a strong brain, because that's a lot to handle, and she handles it with so much grace and compassion, and you've got to give her credit for that. We've got a very special guest on the podcast right now. She is one of my favorite musicians, and she's from here in New Zealand. She is huge in Korea. She is working at Dunkin' Donuts back here in New Zealand because it's fucking hard to be a musician. Like, it's hard to make money, and Paige is one of the most amazing, incredible songwriters, but she also does great content. Her music videos are great, and she's awesome chat. So here to talk about her new single, Tragedy, and a whole bunch more, please welcome to A Little Bit Extra, the incredible Paige. It's a crazy thing too, because I know that you've talked about it a bit on your TikTok, and Lizzo's been talking about it as well, because you've got new music out right now. Your new single, Tragedy, came out on Friday, and oh my God, it is incredible. But like, it's really hard to be a musician right now, right? Because a lot of people think that TikTok's making it easier, but now the algorithms all kind of changed. It's hard again.
Yeah, I think like it's like such a high amount of consumption, like, of music, and there's so many people that can put their music online now, so it's just really hard to break through. And I saw Lizzo's video talking about it. She was like, oh, I'm a Grammy award-winning artist and I still can't break through the market. And I was like, damn, that's pretty eye-opening. Yeah, so it's hard times. And I'm kind of like,
it's hard times, but that's the good thing, is that like everyone's going to listen to this interview and then they're going to go stream all of Paige's songs, because she is incredibly talented. But tell us about Tragedy. So it came out on Friday. I wanted to cuddle you after.
give me a little cuddle, please.
I want to give you a little cuddle.
Thank you.
How did we get here?
Well, to be honest with you, like, so the song is about a one-sided relationship. I don't know where I was getting inspiration from, because I'm in a happy relationship. Like, it's all fine.
I was trying to figure out a way to ask you. I was like, oh, is it going to be too nosy for me to be like, so did you and your partner break up? Like, what's happened here? Because I thought that last time I spoke to you, everything was going great. And then all of a sudden these sad songs are coming out. So are you having to confirm that quite a lot, that you are still in a very happy relationship?
Yeah. I'm kind of like, damn, all of my songs that are coming, like, the titles are so sad, and I'm like, damn, people must think me and Luke broke up. No.
Yeah.
We're still together, still happy. But I was with my friends at this writing camp in Sydney, in the middle of nowhere. It was like the outskirts of the city. And we wrote this song together, and we were just kind of like, oh, we should write a breakup song, because it was raining and it was just a tragic day. Tragedy.
And then Tragedy was born.
Period. But it's kind of like a like leaning into the one-sided relationship thing of, oh, I'm trying so hard to hold on to this person that is wanting to let go. That sucks. That's a crappy feeling. I've had that before. Yeah. So yeah,
it's
I
so
love
sad.
this song.
It's so sad when that happens, and you see it in like your friends' relationships. You're like, babe, they're not as into it as you are. Like, you need to let it go. But what is it like when you do make a song like Tragedy and then you have to play it to Luke? Is he like, are we good?
I don't know how he feels about it.
Really?
No, well, he really likes the song. It's actually funny because, like, I have 3 songs on this upcoming EP that are about breakups, and like, he's just like, oh yeah, love this song, that's great. Oh, you know, maybe because he's a man and he's not really thinking about it.
He's not listening to it lyrically. Well, because that would be a thing, right? It's like, especially when you're a musician, you'd be like, hey, listen to this all the time. Like, I do that with my husband. He works in radio as well, and I'll be like, look at this video and look at this. And after a while, I feel like he just goes, oh, that's really good after a while. But maybe he's doing a little bit of that, not taking it in.
I think so. No, but I like that I like that I can show my boyfriend my songs and he really likes them. Thank God, you know. Imagine
So
He's lying this whole time. He's like, that's
yeah,
great.
exactly.
Yeah.
You've also had some pretty big career highlights over the last couple of years as well. One of the best ones, I think, is you got to sing on stage with the Jonas Brothers. And that was a bit of a TikTok crusade that you got their attention. And now on their tour, they're getting people on stage all the time to sing songs with them. I reckon you've inspired that part of their concert for the new tour.
No, when I saw Demi Lovato jump up and sing This Is Me, I had this like invasive thought of, wow, I bet they talked about that. I bet they were like, oh yeah, we've had a lot of practice with the song because we've sung it already with this girl from New Zealand. It's like, surely they mentioned me to Demi.
Surely.
Yeah.
Or Demi Lovato was like, who's that bitch that you sung it with in New Zealand? Because she did a really good job and now I need to come out and show everybody that Demi knows how to do it still too.
It was one or the other. She was feeling threatened. And, it's okay, Demi.
How does that work afterwards? Like, do you stay in touch with the Jonas Brothers now? Or is it just like something that happens? You're like, thanks for the memories and they never see each other again?
Well, no, I don't keep in touch with them. I don't want to. Like, it's just kind of like, I wanted my little moment of like fangirling and then I don't want to have to live with that, Like, I don't want to have to talk to them like they're normal people because for me, they're just like, my heroes, and that it can be that way. I feel like I've met a lot of famous people in my career and I've always been like, oh, I want to be friends with them, like I'd love to hang out with them again. This time I was like, let me just be a fan and let me be excited and be a little bit embarrassing and cringe and then I don't have to ever see them again. Like I met them at the beginning of the show and then we sang together and then I had the chance to go back and say goodbye, but I was like, no, I'm just going to let it be.
I love that. You played hard to get with the Jonas Brothers.
Well, now I was thinking about it and I was like, damn, I wonder if they thought that I just used them for the singing and then left.
Oh, no, definitely not. That's your imposter syndrome, babe. That is not a thing.
Yeah.
Because
you're
also,
right.
like, you would have met some incredible people over your career. Who's been the highlights? Like, who's been the best people that you've interacted with that you never thought you'd get the opportunity to?
Well, I mean, I met Billie Eilish at the very beginning of my career because she
loves
shared,
you.
Yeah, that was really cool. Like when she shared my music back in like 2018, we met in Auckland and that was really cool. But I think my most shocking one was meeting Harry Styles because I played in the band that opened for him for Nio, who was also like a Kiwi.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we met Harry Styles and I was like, oh my gosh, like I never
was he
expected
like?
to meet him. He was kind. Like it was just kind of like he'd just gone for a run and then he came into the dressing room and said hi to Nio, who was an amazing artist that no one talks enough about in New Zealand. But and I don't know, he got her flowers and was like, oh, you're so amazing, like so proud of you. And I was just like, wow, it's Harry Styles.
That is so cool because I imagine I've never met Harry Styles, but I imagine when you do, he'd be strikingly handsome to the point that it gives you like that aftershock feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Horrible. Horrible
Horrible feeling.
feeling.
Horrible feeling. I do get credit just to like on Harry Styles for a second because we do talk about pop culture on this podcast. What are your feelings behind him dating Harry Styles and him dating Zoe Kravitz? Because I reckon that is like that's like textbook. Of course, he's dating a really cool rock star's daughter.
Yeah,
What
it's
are
pretty
your
on
thoughts?
brand, isn't it?
Yeah.
I saw them out to lunch with Lenny Kravitz as well. Did you see that?
Yes. Oh my
And I
god.
was like, oh, I hope it just leads to a collaboration with him and Lenny Kravitz.
Oh
But,
man.
yeah, I just think they're both so hot, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I saw that movie she was in with Austin Butler, the Caught Stealing.
I haven't seen
Have
it
you
yet.
seen it?
No, I haven't seen it. I need to go see it because everybody keeps saying it's racy as hell.
It's really good. And I ship them. Like, I want them to get together.
See, there were rumors that they were together, but they must have
Austin
just been
Butler.
playing it. Yeah, maybe that she was because she was covering for the Harry Styles of it all. But yeah, I've heard that the chemistry in that movie is incredible.
Yeah, they look good together. But I'm also like, you know what? Like, if I was Harry Styles, I'd date Zoe Kravitz. If I was Zoe Kravitz, I would date Harry Styles. So it kind of works. Kind of makes sense.
I would never like be able to sit at a table with Zoe Kravitz, Lenny Kravitz, and Harry Styles, I'd feel instantly like the uncoolest person that's ever existed.
I wouldn't know which one to look at.
No, neither. It's out the gate. Well, Paige, thank you so much for joining us. We're really looking forward to hearing more new music from you. Tragedy is incredible. When can people expect the EP to come out, and what's the best way to keep up with what you're up to?
Keep up with me on socials, Paige's Space everywhere. My EP will be out in November. Yay.
I cannot wait, gal. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the best.
Thank you. You're the best. Love ya.
Love you. God, I love her. If you have not listened to Paige, then go back on her back catalogue and have a listen to it, because she's just phenomenal and she's got so much raw talent. And it's really funny. I didn't realize this until I think it was maybe her third single or something, but when she was a teenager, I was working for a radio station at the time, and we wanted to remake like a Kiwi burger song for McDonald's, but we wanted to update it and we needed someone to sing it. And Paige was the schoolgirl that came in and sung our song for us. And now she's like this massive star. It's so funny. I love that. I love that we got Paige on the come up, because she absolutely nailed that Kiwi burger song and it was fire. On to our special mentions of the pop culture wrap this week. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but the Charlie Sheen documentary on Netflix, it is like the craziest, most interesting docuseries, but you also find yourself falling in love with Charlie Sheen, and I had a whole new respect for him. Like, of course, I loved, and I know I shouldn't have, because obviously he was in a very bad place, but I did very much enjoy the whole like winning, tiger blood, the fact that he flew a plane, like a passenger plane, hammered because the pilot was a big fan, all of this sort of stuff about Charlie Sheen. But to actually go deeper and find out about like his family dynamics and things like that, and to hear him talk about his sobriety, it's a really great documentary. But Charlie Sheen was doing some interviews to promote the documentary, but also the fact that he's got a biography coming out. And he talked about Matthew Perry, who played Chandler on Friends. Now, tragically, he passed away from a drug overdose in a spa pool. But he'd written this amazing book, and in that book, it was all about like his sobriety, all about his addiction journey, and there was stuff in there about Charlie Sheen. And Charlie Sheen was talking about how when he saw Matthew promoting that book, everybody thought he was sober, but Charlie knew that he absolutely wasn't.
I could see when he was promoting it, and I could feel the sort of the prison that he put himself in, because I could tell he wasn't sober, talking about a book that is all about sobriety and recovery, and coming out of the that thing that I described, veterans of the unspeakable, the Downey quote, and I felt bad for him. And then when I heard a little snippet from the audiobook, he didn't have that perfect, specific, laser-focused diction that he always had, delivering comedy or anything at the level that he did.
You can see why so many celebrities end up reaching out to other ones. Like Elton John helped Eminem get sober, and so many other celebrities as well. And he reaches out to all of these like young artists to help them. He helped Kelly Osbourne as well. There's so many people, and you can see it's like a really like nice mentorship, but also like how Charlie was saying, it's sometimes you have to wait until that person's ready to receive that help. But oh my gosh, the fact that he could see that and nobody else could is like mind-boggling to me. Ed Sheeran also this week revealed that Taylor Swift, as we know, is very, very, very secretive when it comes to releasing her music. But this goes all the way back to like the Red album days. And Ed Sheeran was talking about a hilarious way that he got to hear the song that he made on Red with her, Everything Has Changed. And to think what it would be like now, it would be even more intense.
I remember working on Red and getting a literal briefcase flown to me that was locked to listen to the mix. Like that was 2012 as well. Like it's real lock and key.
I reckon that she would absolutely, nowadays, fly it in a suitcase, and then it has like all these bodyguards. It's in a bulletproof suitcase as well. Like it would just be so intense. Like there is no way that Taylor Swift is sending that on a USB stick. There's no way that she's sending you a Dropbox or a WeTransfer. That is guarded with lock and key. Like when people say that songs have been leaked, I do not believe that, not for 1 second. Because you see people like Taylor Swift and Beyonce, they've never have a song leak, ever. So I just don't believe that for even a moment. I reckon she goes to her sessions and she takes home all of the files, and that's it. But, I mean, we just have to find out. We have to try and get Jack Antonoff on the podcast, or Max Martin. Oh, Joel Little. We could ask him. But maybe it's all secretive and they've all got NDAs. There's going to be so many intricate details of why we can't hear Taylor Swift songs get leaked. But if that was then, imagine what it is like now. And our final story for the pop culture wrap made me laugh so hard because I just loved how not abrupt, but just how frank she was and very, very clear. And it was refreshing to see someone do an interview this honestly. But Madeline Petch, who played Cheryl on Riverdale, was on Alex Cooper's Call Her Daddy, and she talked about how there was an article that came out about how all of the Riverdale cast were all just hooking up and having sex with each other all throughout the filming of Riverdale. And Madeline, oh my God, she set the record straight.
May I set the record straight about something on Riverdale, actually?
Yeah.
I would love to do this on air.
Please.
Okay. Recently, an article came out saying that we all f***ed each other on the show. I did not touch a single person on that show with a 10-foot pole. May I just repeat that one more time? I did not f*** a single person on Riverdale. I never touched them. That's what happened. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Wait, did people think you f***ed the girls or people on set?
It was just like this article that came out that was like, we all f*** each other all the time. And I was like, hey, no. I did not f*** any of you. I don't claim that at all.
You weren't into anyone on set?
No. I don't mix business and pleasure like that. I've never hooked up with a co-star.
I love her so much. Like, I honestly did not expect that sort of energy from her, but I love that she has that real fuck around and find out energy about her, and I loved that interview. If you are the sort of person like me that loves celebrity interviews where the person is just so blunt, you will love that episode of Call Her Daddy. Thank you so much for listening today. We really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, and join our community because we would absolutely love to chat with you. And if you ever have opinions, please send them through to us. I love hearing them, and I'd love to put some in the podcast as well. Massive thank you to our guests today, Holly and Paige. You are absolutely incredible wahinetua, incredible strong women, and we will be back on Thursday talking about salmon sperm. That's right. It's the beauty treatment and the beauty serum that is taking over, and I've had sperm on my face this entire episode, and I've even got my husband to put sperm on his face, and we're going to be breaking down salmon sperm, whether or not it actually works, and do they actually jack off a salmon? You can find that out on Thursday. Moody are fabulous. They are the sponsor of our podcast, and I am obsessed with their probiotic powder. If you are like wanting to get into your gut health, this is the best probiotic that you can use. There's so many different flavors, so you can find one that's really, really nice. Also, I have struggled to get my kids into probiotics because a lot of the time they taste gross. If you add it to their milk, it goes lumpy, that sort of stuff. I have been giving a half a scoop to my kid, to my older son in water, and then I froth it up with my Moody like whisk thing. And he has actually been having probiotics every day. And I don't know what it is, but even after such a small amount of time, like I've noticed a difference in his eczema on his hands and things like that. He's sleeping so much better as well. And that's what I find like when I use the probiotic too, is that my bloating, so overshare, but currently like halfway through my period. And usually when I do get that, like I have to wear activewear or something without a waistband because my bloating honestly is the same size as what I was like when I was 4 months pregnant. And I have not had that since using Moody. My bloating has just like kind of disappeared. So if you're looking to get into your gut health, go to moodyblends.com and check out their products. You will not regret it. Thank you so much for listening.